Hello everyone and welcome back guys to round 7, week 3 for the OMA World Touring Car Championship, where today we're here at Catalunya National. Now, like I said, yeah, week 3 of the series now, effectively round 7 of this 30 round championship. And coming into this one, this track, as some of you may be fully aware, is not a track that I'm a fan of. Catalunya just as a track, yeah, I've never really got on well with, and unfortunately as well, it wasn't looking like the best one for our car either. Now, the Audi S3 in this series, its main strengths are definitely the high-speed cornering. Now, this track, when you exclude sort of these couple of corners, there's not much of that around here, unfortunately. And that was obviously going to mean that we were in for a bit more of a difficult showing than last week. And I mean, last week, obviously, we were able to capitalise, score a lot of good, solid points in that week's worth of action. At the end of the day, though, still scored really, really good points. Got, 2 wins and a 2nd place. We didn't really drop that many points at the end of the day. But this week, how it was looking like we had to come in with a different mindset. It was time for a bit more of the damage limitation. Coming through the final couple of corners of my fastest lap, though, it hadn't exactly been a bad lap here as we head through the final turn, trying to get as much curve as possible. They're actually getting a little bit lucky that we sort of dinked the grass, so that maybe we could get a little bit more rotation in through the final corner there. So that was going to be a 1 minute 14.8 at the end of the session there. You can see AMR Blackout, a new member to the league there, on a 1 minute 14.5 in the RS3 LMS there. And yeah, the RS3 just around here seemed to have a little bit of an advantage over the S3 here. It's just that bit better. It's got a bit better rotation at lower speed, everything like that. And obviously Blackout as well didn't have the ballast, so that was certainly going to shake things up as well here. 3/10 clear on top for the pole position there, but I mean, then we were 6/10 ahead of our main championship rival, BCR Black Falcon, as well here. But we are ready on the grid for the first race of the night. It was P2 at the end of qualifying there. Blackout, I think it's going to be difficult to try and match him without that ballast and a slightly quicker car around this circuit. But as long as we can try and score some good, consistent points over Black Falcon, that's probably going to be the aim here tonight. But I think we're going to be going at about 2 minutes 55 for the first race of the night then. Here, starting from the front row of the grid once again. It is 5 lights, and it's lights out and away. We don't really get going there. That has not been the best start in the world there. Black Falcon's going to be able to go straight past us. Brandy's going to be able to have a look up the inside on the run towards turn 1 there, as well as SC10 Raptor in the ever-fast starting rear-wheel drive BMW there. We're going to be 4 wide as we head down in towards T1 there. Black Falcon's just going to push us all out a little bit wide through that first couple of corners there. We're going to try and stay side by side with Brandy as we head down in towards turn 2 and up the hill in towards turn 3 here. A little bit of contact at the moment, obviously. We're both CKR, but not actually technically part of the same team as we head up towards the top of the hill here. We do actually get right around his outside as now we head through the fast chicane on lap 1 here. Getting a little bit loose on the way in there, running all over the grass on the way out as well. I wouldn't say gotta play it risky, but certainly, yeah, trying to push as best as possible on lap 1 there. As you can see, Blackout has got out nice and cleanly off the start there. Black Falcon, our main rival at the moment, is just in front of us though, so we definitely need to try and get past him in this race here, because obviously we need to try and score good, consistent points. The aim is always to try and build up a little bit of a margin, step by step, week by week. Hopefully, we can just try and outscore him by a few points here and there, and obviously just slowly but surely eliminate a chance of a fight back here. But we'll wait and see as to how that pans out, because like I said, that RS3 LMS was incredibly quick around this circuit. I think theoretically the most I could have got out of this S3 without the ballast was probably going to be sort of a 1 minute 14.5, and the LMS could probably get low 14s out of it at the end of the day there. But coming towards the end of lap 3 though, all over the back now of Black Falcon, you can see Blackout has been able to make a little bit of a breakaway here, and yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult to try and catch up to him in this race here as we head through the final couple of corners on the long run towards T1 there. Black Falcon just going a little bit defensive there. Actually a bit of contact down in towards T1 here. We seem to be really, really late on the brakes in comparison to pretty much anyone else around this circuit here as we head through turn 2 and turn 3 up the hill here. We're still behind Black Falcon though. Didn't really want to punt him out the way. Didn't want to go for the punt to pass. The championship certainly hasn't heated up that much just ahead. Give it round 8, round 9. We'll certainly be whipping those out at the end of the day there. But through the fast chicane we go though. This was obviously one place where our car was just that bit stronger. We're going to try and capitalise on that. Late braking once again down in towards the next corner there. Park it on the apex. Don't allow a switchback opportunity. And as we head up the hill here, we're going to be able to get the drive. And we now move up into P2 of the race here. And that was a very, very critical move in this race, because we do need to try and build up a little bit of a margin here. Having a look at the points at the end of last week, though we had obviously been able to build up a fairly decent points haul at the moment, obviously, over the rest of the field, especially where, you know, we scored so many good points in that race there. In terms of the championship, we were on 168, Black Falcon was on 147, and it was actually our teammate CK on 130 points there. And then the CKR teams, the other team, 249 points, we had 248. And then it was MCE on 178 points there, so we needed to try and continue building up the momentum at the moment as we head through the next couple of laps there. You can see the gap to Blackout, even I should say, up the road was pretty much hovering at about the 3-second margin at the moment. You know, sometimes we get a quick lap in, other times you get a bit quicker lap in. It was just one of those horrible things where that car had that little bit more potential. It just meant, you know, we'd have to absolutely nail every single lap to even try and match him at the moment here. You know, that's what we were trying to do at this stage of the day. That we had actually been able to set a 14.4, but I think the track limits had certainly been questionable on that lap at the very best of times. But through starting the final lap there, you can see that gap had stayed pinned at 3.1 seconds here, so the fact we were matching him in a slower car here was certainly reassuring at the end of the day. That we had actually now set a clean 14.7 as well. Really does go to show just what this, you know, just that little bit lacking of pace the Audi had in comparison, obviously, to the other Audi here. But still, you know, it's certainly been an Audi show over the last couple of weeks here. I think Audis have won all but one race of the season, all but one or two at the end of the day. I know Ash got a win in the first week of the series nonetheless here, but obviously it is, you know, the cars are pretty balanced. We've done, people had testing in all the different cars, everything like that. Just obviously the Audis seem really, really strong when it comes to race time here. As we head down in towards the hairpin for the final time of this race, though, we're basically just going to need Blackout to make a mistake here, and obviously with a 3.5-second margin, obviously he's not going to be taking any risks at the end of the day, though. But still, you know, to be able to hold on to P2 in the end, obviously, especially considering the start where we were 4 wide, potentially down into P5 of the start of the race there, to climb our way back through to fight back up into second place there. Black Falcon looks to be down in 4th, so we should have been able to pull out a good few points over him as well at the end of the day there. But through the final couple of corners, it is going to be Blackout who takes home the first race victory of the night. They're in his debut race in OMA as well, obviously, after we managed to back at Mugello there. But yeah, it is P2 in the end there. 1 minute 14.780 at the end of the day there. You can see only a 10th off Blackout, considering the ballast. I will certainly take that at the end of the day there. We were the only two to be able to get down into the 14s in that race there. Brandy will come home in P3 ahead of Falcon, and CK there in P5 ahead of Connor, and SC10 Raptor seem to be very, very close at the end there, ahead of Spoons and Shinigami as well as Goatee there. Ash, unfortunately, wasn't racing this week. Not too sure why, I'll be honest with you there. But that will be it for the end of race 1, though. Fairly short, sweet, simple, you know, a nice quiet race after the opening couple of laps there. You know, we just settled down, got into a rhythm, and got into some good pace in this car. But I will hopefully be back tomorrow for round 2, and then obviously back the day after for round 3 of this week's rounds 8 and 9 of the championship. Obviously, the reverse grid race is certainly going to make the second and third race a little bit more spicy. But that'll do us then for this video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you guys next time. We'll be back for round 8.